Wait on your heels, butt low, back tight. There you go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Blake. So I'm down here in our south end section of Boston, Northampton, just sitting on something, observing the surroundings. So I just got finished with the long, extended observatory type of walk during Methadone Mile, and I got to see something for the first time. The harm reduction crew who passes out these stuff for the people to use to get high with. And it's a stem. These stems are probably, the stems have been around for a long time, just reinvented because of this new way of doing drugs. But so she was smoking meth, and I stood there and watched her, and she was talking to the staff, and they were talking about the difference between that and crack cocaine. Hi. And so listening to them it was a common thing. It was a common type of conversation. It wasn't just random. And just watching the people that would casually walk up, and the only thing they ask you for, I think, is your date of birth. Yes, your date of birth. And they give you what you're looking for, and then you go do your thing. And I saw a lot of people, well, a good number of people passed out, either from just being tired or whatever. And a good number of those same people that were doing drugs. A hell of a lot more that were actually doing them. This is all in the safe zone of harm reduction. Yeah. DJ, and where you from, DJ?
Man, I grew up right here in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, okay.
Yes, sir.
So you familiar with Skid Row?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. And are you active?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do?
I got a couple hustles, but I'm transitioning my hustles from the things I used to do that got me that got me through my prison time.
Right.
Real. I've been in prison 5 times. I ain't trying to keep going back and none of that. So I gotta. It take time to transition my ways, my old ways to positive, better.
Yeah, but the active addiction, Skid Row, is bad.
I go to UC Berkeley. I study political science. I'm really interested in the whole prison industrial complex, getting more into like prison reforms, reforming the laws around mandated minimum sentences. I just feel like there's not a strong reason for why we should be constantly incarcerating, people of color, especially men of color, and like constantly breaking up families. I'm very against that.
Wow, that's interesting. And what was it that led you to your eye-opening experience with this?
Well, my own father was in the prison system for pretty much 12 years of my life, so it really messed up our relationship. And then I just felt like if there was a way I could prevent it, if there was a way that it could be fixed, I'd want to get into that.
Wow, so you have a personal thing with the prison industrial complex, and you're correct. Perfect term, industrial complex is what it is. So you now see with Jeff. Are you familiar with Jeff Sessions? He's the attorney for Trump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, him, the little guy. Yeah, he's all about the lock him up attitude.
Yeah.
And here on this Berkeley campus, is there a lot of politics that goes on here?
I mean, Berkeley is known for being very radical, being all about free speech and all of that, but I feel like there's a lot of politics around money, and there's a lot of we want to bring these people because they'll bring more publicity or they'll bring more money to our campus. And then I just feel like bringing people that are going to be problematic, bringing people that are going to endanger the lives of other students, that's a lot of what goes on here.
Can you give me an example?
Just when we had Free Speech Week, we had some people come who are very radical, very against, our queer community. And then it was we had over 500 police, men here on fully armed, and that makes other people feel unsafe. So why would you bring that to our campus when you have a way to prevent it?
When you said against the queer community, did you mean they reject their sexual politics, or they wanted to harm them physically?
Both. I mean, I've heard stories from my professors of these same people going to other college campuses and like, you know, writing names of poor people on boards and then trying to have their people go and attack them or go and find them and call
that's
them out from
yeah.
people.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because to have a difference of a disagreement is the mature thing, but to take it any further than that is retarded and a waste of one's time. Yeah, but yeah, hey, listen, I really appreciate this. You don't know how much this is appreciated. This documentary that I'm currently involved in, which I will share some information with you once we're off of this, just to, you know, elaborate more and share more info. That way, you know, you be my Berkeley connection, I'll be your Boston connection. Hey, but listen, I want to thank you for your input. Thank you very much. Bye.
We out here in the Bay Area representing. I got my album out, you know, we in the streets, but we also, you know, trying to reach the youth. You know, you would think at a college that they would teach an open mind.
Right.
But see, what they don't know is you go to school and they program you with debt, and then you still fearing, and then you still don't got an open mind. So when you go to school, they still teaching the same thing, man. At the end of the day, keep an open mind, stay conscious, stay focused.
Y'all hear that? That's from the West Coast. All right, my man.
For sure.
This is Blake, y'all, out here in the Bay Area. Thank you, bro.
I just know there's a couple of programs where they do their shelters and they're there for addicts and people are overdosing, people are tearing these properties up because they don't care. But they're getting housed. Their name will come up quicker than mine. But you have somebody who wants to stay clean and keep doing the process. My only barrier, I have an 11-year-old I'm still fighting for. It was 2 seconds to take her away, but it's taken 2+ years to get her back. And I've done everything and anything that they asked of me. Even I've done things that didn't even ask of me. Like a Vivitrol shot. I didn't have to, but I did it. Classes, training, parenting classes and training certificates and all this stuff that I did to get her back, and I still can't get her back because the biggest barrier is housing.
Wow.
Understaffed, underpaid. Sometimes you can be overworked because it's understaffed. And then, you know, you're working with people in active addiction. So you got people who feel they're entitled to it because they've been through the program. Sometimes this is their lifestyle, right? Let me get somewhere because it's cold outside, because I don't want to be in the cold. And then spring and summer, they're out there. But I know recovery is possible. And that's my role, to try to show them a glimpse of what recovery looks like. But what I have to remember is don't take it personal, and they have to want it for themselves.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good attitude. They have to want it for themselves. Yeah. So you do feel like it's understaffed and overworked because it's understaffed. Okay.
Because you have to have, doing this work, you have to have a passion for it. What I'm learning on this journey is it's not easy. I feel as though I get discriminated against because I use alcohol and weed, everything is about opiates and heroin, and there's no support. You can say whatever you like, but sometimes I feel it's my skin tone. I've been denied programs because of it. And I could be in a house full of women. I've been to detoxes, I've been to halfway houses, sober homes, and the girls in the house that are not my skin tone will get approved and get into programs, and I'll be denied. But that didn't stop me. Actually, that motivated me even more. My greatest revenge is to just stay clean and stay the course and trust the process.
Core values have not changed. They will not change. I know what the truth is inside of me. And I don't hide that. I don't hide that. However, I don't really work directly with people that are, I'm not coaching people trying to get into recovery so I'm sort of coaching the coaches now and training the trainers.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So I'm able to express what I'm telling you here, and I don't necessarily have to say well, it's good that you're not shooting heroin today, you're just smoking weed and that kind of stuff. I don't really have to face that head on, and I know that's difficult because most of the recovery coaches out there are abstinent. There's a few I know that are on MAT, and they're fantastic, by the way, the few that I know, but most of them have an abstinence-based 12-step recovery program, and they have to show people how to safely inject crystal meth.
Wow.
And honestly, I can coach you to help coach people to do that, but I don't know if I could face that and be comfortable with that, right?
Yeah, the red tape, everything's public health funded, and that's where the struggle comes in because they want to see these evidence-based practices, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. And I think that all this research is funded, by motivation, and there's, the same pharmaceutical companies that make, the drugs that get people addicted in the first place are the same ones that are making these drugs to supposedly help people get better. So it's very frustrating.
What about you? Where you from? What brought you here?
I grew up in Dorchester with my father, and wasn't around all my life. Shit like that, always in and out of my life. Finally, I went up to, Billerica area with my mother, watched my family doing drugs my whole life, When I was 16, I got curious as to why they wasn't around all the time, why they kept ducking me and breaking my heart and shit like that, and always saying, I'll be there, and never showing up.
Let me ask you a question, Michael. How old are you now?
I'm 27 now.
27. And how long have you ever been clean before?
I was clean for 3 years.
For 3 years.
I moved to Atlanta in 2017.
Okay.
And I came back in 2020.
Came back in 2020.
Yeah.
So how long have you been back at it?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half? Okay. And so you're originally from?
Dorchester.
Dorchester. Okay, so we got some commonality in Boston area. Okay. So what's your drug of choice, Michael?
Heroin.
Heroin. Heroin, okay. And how long you been doing heroin?
11 years.
11 years, wow. So you started off at 16, huh? Okay. So, what do people stop and talk to you? Do they ignore you?
They ignore me. They duck and look the other way. You got your occasional people that'll stop and, talk, but those are the people that give a shit, you know what I mean? Other people, a lot of, you'll see around here, and, through in Lawrence area, Dominicans.
Yeah.
They'll pull over, they'll give you the money because they know it's going to another Dominican. It's going to feed the food back home, you know what I mean? They know what it's all about.
Okay. I like that. I like that truth, yeah. Wow. So, you're not done. You're not ready.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, it's good to be honest about how you feel, regardless of what other people think. Because how you feel is how you feel.
Yeah.
But Michael, hopefully this won't be the last time we see one another. Hopefully it won't be. And I won't say I know where to find you, but I do know where to find you.
Right.
And
where the drugs are at, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what we all need to hear. Is where the drugs are at, is where you find people that are caught up into that lifestyle.
Yeah. And it's not even the drugs that are really well, I mean, drugs are the addictive part, but it's the chaos. It's the lifestyle. It's the meat and the deal, the running back and forth. That's addictive.
Okay. Yeah, well, I like what I'm hearing, Michael. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this not the last time we see one another. And I want you to remember my name, Blake. I want you to remember this face because I'm going to look for you when I'm in this area. When I'm in this Lawrence Low area, I'm going to look for you. And when I see you, I'm going to stop you. All right?
I'll be here.
All right. Hopefully you won't. Hopefully you'll be in a better place.
Get out of here,
but yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate this, and this is going towards just what I told you it was. Okay? So you mean something to this. It's people like you that make this a reality, and we need to educate people on this.
Yeah, absolutely, because people need to know that I'm somebody's someone. You know what I mean? But
say that again.
Somebody's someone.
I'm
somebody's
someone.
father. I'm somebody's son. You know.
Okay. Well, listen, Michael. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but the active addiction, Skid Row, is bad. It's Skid.
What they're doing is they're giving housing vouchers in Section 8 to people who are still actively using, and calling it harm reduction, right? But these people don't want no type of service, they don't want no help, they just want to use. I've heard people say, I gave up my housing voucher, or I gave up my apartment. But people have died in these brand new, beautiful condos, because they don't want it. They don't want to be clean. And then you have people in recovery who's doing everything right, staying clean, going to meetings, have a job, and we're getting pushed to the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And they're even putting them in hotels. There's a place called Low Threshold.
Say that again, it's called Low Threshold?
Low Threshold.
Okay, and are you familiar with where are these places? How many units are held for people? Are you familiar with that end of it?
No. I just know there's a couple of programs where they do their shelters, and they're there for addicts, and people are overdosing, people are tearing these properties up because they don't care. But they're getting housed. Their name will come up quicker than mine. But you have somebody who wants to stay clean and keep doing the progress. My only barrier, I have an 11-year-old I'm still fighting for. It was 2 seconds to take her away, but it's taken 2+ years to get her back. And I've done everything and anything that they asked of me. Even I've done things that didn't even ask of me. Like a Vivitrol shot. I didn't have to, but I did it. Classes, training, parenting classes and training certificates and all this stuff that I did to get her back, and I still can't get her back because the biggest barrier is housing.
Wow.
It's basically, in Boston, that's the biggest setback here, is housing, the biggest barrier.
Lack of housing?
I mean, that's why people be in crisis. They want to commit suicide, they're depressed, their anxieties. Because if you go to a shelter, that's what they want me to do, go into a shelter. But why would I go into a shelter if the shelter's a wet shelter? I'm not jeopardizing my recovery. I'll rather pay than stay at a sober home. At least I know I'm in a sober environment. Not to say that everybody stays sober. People do relapse. That's all part of recovery. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to put myself or jeopardize my recovery for nobody.
Recovery world, or at least in Boston, does it look, from your observance, does it feel like it's overworked or understaffed or underworked?
It's understaffed, underpaid. Sometimes you can be overworked because it's understaffed. And then, you're working with people in active addiction. So you got people who feel they're entitled to it because they've been through the program. Sometimes this is their lifestyle, right? Let me get somewhere because it's cold outside, because I don't want to be in the cold, and then spring and summer they're out there. But I know recovery is possible. And that's my role, to try to show them a glimpse of what recovery looks like. But what I have to remember is don't take it personal, and they have to want it for themselves.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good attitude. They have to want it for themselves. Yeah. So you do feel like it's understaffed and overworked because it's understaffed.
Okay.
Because you have to have, doing this work, you have to have a passion for it.
He's unique, he's individual, just like all the rest of you. He needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't.
Up in the middle, and here we go. There it is.
What I'm learning on this journey is it's not easy. I feel as though I get discriminated against because I use alcohol and weed, and everything is about opiates and heroin, and there's no support. You can say whatever you like, but sometimes I feel it's my skin tone. I've been denied programs because of it. And I could be in a house full of women. I've been to detoxes, I've been to halfway houses, sober homes, and the girls in the house that are not my skin tone will get approved and get into programs, and I'll be denied. But that didn't stop me. Actually, that motivated me even more. My greatest revenge is to just stay clean and stay the course, and trust the process.